Then on the last, on number 2, we did the nut. And today we're gonna do the intonation, and we're gonna do the setup for the bridge pickup and neck pickup. Yeah. So if you remember, we did everything on the old strings, because string is a very sensitive item. If you bend the strings, let's say you try to make it a little bit tight, and I'll give you an example. You can do this thing, what I do right now, and you create a damage to the string, by trying, let's say, to pull it, stretch it. I'm not saying it's not okay to stretch, but if you don't do it very carefully, you can damage the string. And once you damage the string, it's going to interfere with your intonation. Because intonation, it's a very sensitive work, because it's a very exact thing. Now, just to make everybody understand, on the guitar we did not achieve yet a perfect intonation on any fret.
You mean guitars in general?
Yeah. Guitar in general, yeah.
Like the piano, in a way.
Like a piano in a way, exactly. But everyone has a different tuning, and if it was fretless, then there's no problem. But because it's not fretless, the position of the fret is correct for one string or two strings, but not for all of them. So there is a problem here. That's why it's kind of, we need to find a balance where to do it. On my guitars, I use the Boaz Elkayam system, which for me it's worked the best. I can really hear a tune, but that's a different game, and I'm also not allowed to share it. It's not my system, it's his. So he can share it, but not me. So what we're going to do is what everybody does, but I just show my method, and we start with changing the string. But now we grab this opportunity to take off the nut after we set it up, and polish the nut. Take the nut now, and we take 1000 sandpaper, and we just polishing it. And it's a good idea. We're polishing it for aesthetic only. There's no need.
Just so that it looks nice, looks good.
Yeah, so it looks good. Exactly. And it's because, you know, it's a real thing. It's not plastic, and it can reach a very nice polish. After the 1000, you can go on fabric and just do that, and it brings the shine out. If you have a buffer, you can go on your buffer, and then it's going to be, yeah. So I'm going to change now the strings, and we're going to start the intonation. So, okay. So everybody know that Gibson have the tailpiece, which either the string goes straight out, or either it's flipping over like that. So this is a question of
preference.
Preference, yeah.
Is there any question of like better sound, or is, why?
I like the way it's designed, which is like that. And you can also
go straight out.
Yeah, you can set up the height as you wish. Yeah. And we need the breaking angle. We do need the breaking angle so the string vibrates efficiently. Yeah, also when you flip it over this way, I don't want to do it. I'll do it like that because I don't want, there is not one point that the string leave out. So it also can create a buzz.
I see.
Yeah.
see, yeah.
Also, it's not a rough surface; it's fine surface. So the string, it's losing energy. This way, you have this starting point that we're looking for, also on the nut. Of course, because it's on the back, it's not a big deal. And right here, there's many ways to put the strings. Maybe I do each string different so people can see different ways. Okay, so you put the string straight in and you cut it on the next one, right there. You cut it on the next one, and then try to leave as little as possible. And it will be exactly 2.5 turns. That's it. It's nice and it's clean. Of course, you can leave it longer and cut it after, but you're already cutting it, so just do it like that. If you don't have a vibrato. That's also a nice way to do it for steel strings. Not for nylon, but for steel string and especially the bass side of electric guitar. So you can do, of course, all the string this way, yeah? But if you have a vibrato and you want to create a locking, you turn the hole 90 degrees, so the string is 90 degrees to the guitar, which is like that. Yeah? You bring the string to the last of the nut, see?
Mm-hmm.
Now I flip it over, as we all know, or many of us know. Flip it over.
And bring it under.
No, and bring it back to here.
I see.
Now I'm turning. And I create a locking system. See, it's locked with one turn. And of course, now I cut it.
So, where is the locking?
Right there.
Yeah, I see.
See it?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. But still, we have a little bit extra because when you bend the string open, you have a little bit of friction. Yeah. So when you cut it. I'm trying to say there's not one way that is right way. Yeah, there's many ways. And everyone have his own. So I try to show different ways now on each string. One different way. Yeah. This I do the same. Yeah. I cut the string. But I'm turning it and I go up the whatever come out. I go down and up. See? So it's also locked. Yeah? And if there's left, I go now down over again. So it's double locked. And I prefer this way because I have a little bit of extra string.
So this is the way you like, this is the way you prefer to do everything?
Yeah, I prefer to do it because then it's double locked.
And the E string as well? Like,
yeah, you can do it. Each one you can do on all of them. I'm showing different thing. Yeah, but on the bass strings, you just cut it on the next. You cut it on the next. You cut it on. You imagine where the next is, and you cut it. Yeah. On the treble string, a little bit longer, but just a little bit longer. I'm going to show you. Okay, so instead of going right here, I go somewhere in between those two. Yeah. Got it. Bend it. See? So it doesn't run out when I start working with the machine. And same thing, I go up and down. See? And I go up now. And I go down. I'm like overlooping. Pressing is thin. again, a little bit longer. Bend it, put it in. I try to do it. So going up, and I go below. And I go up, and I go below. That's it. Yeah? Yeah, G-string, I like to make it so it doesn't show up, because sometimes it can hurt. So just a little bit coming out, and of course if you have a locking mechanism on the nut, it doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. Okay, we put the new strings and we tune the guitar. The neck is radius, so I make an extreme radius so people understand. The neck is radius and the string follow this radius. So first string is lower than the fingerboard top part, yeah. And when you bend it, when you bend the string, you basically bring it up. So what's the problem? The problem that the frets in front of that fret interrupting, and it creates a clog. Which means you do a bending, but it's clogging the string, kill it. So what I do to avoid that is try to make here a more flat surface.
Hey Boaz, can you maybe, is it possible to draw it? Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we have a radius neck. This is first string, this is sixth string. Those two strings, the 4 and 5, 3 and 4 strings, they are on the highest point. When I take that string and I bend it, I basically bring it toward those strings. So I create a situation that the action here is low, but if I go this way, you can see I'm going to touch. You got it? Look here. This is higher than here. This point is higher than this point. So if I bend the string, now here it's touching and it's killing the string. I got it?
Yeah.
So to avoid that, I go here and instead of following the radius, I do make a radius here, but very shallow radius, not the exact 12-inch radius that the neck have. Here the radius is more flat. And where, how much flat or how much high is when the bass is stopping. So right now, you see it's clean all the way up. It's clean. And if it was, this string was lower, then you're gonna hear like that it's dying. Clear, it's dying. Okay? So you make that a little bit more flat. This is step one, because we want to create the action. The action I do above F, under the string and on top of the fret 12, yeah, it's 1.5 millimeter. 1.5 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
1.5 millimeter on the first string.
Yes.
1.5 millimeter high.
Yes.
Okay.
I can go lower, of course. This is very simple. I go lower now, and I have less than 1.5, but then it's also clean.
It's clean.
So if it's clean, I go down. Enjoy it, yeah. On the other side, same thing. And now we do the intonation. So with the intonation, we are on low budget, as you remember, yeah? Because we can bring the styloscope and work with the styloscope, but just take any tuner that is a fine tuner, that have 1 cent because it's hard, it's difficult to tune guitars, and companies know that there's a lot of problem there. They don't want you to be frustrated. So to begin with, they're making a tolerance of more or less 10 cents. So you can be off 9, 7, 6 cents, and it will show you you're tuned. Yeah, and they do it on purpose because they don't want you to go forever tuning the guitar. So if you get a tuner that can be accurate on that, it's of course much better for the job we do now. Yeah, the job now is very simple. This intonation that everybody is afraid of. You remember we start in the very last.
Yeah, we
move them all for filing the angle on video 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, of course, they're going to be moved this way. Yeah. Now you move it this way. You basically tune your guitar. Yeah. I do it also on the next one. This one I did already, so. It's flat, yeah? So I'm start moving it. That's moving, making the string shorter or longer. If it's flat, I'm moving this way.
Mm-hmm.
If it's sharp, I'm moving it this way. But because we brought it all the way there, of course we're just gonna go that direction. So it's now back and forth by tuning. You need to tune. Exactly. And then cut it on the 12th, and I see that it's still, so I'm going this way more. And again, tune it, and go back. Now, I know where it's supposed to be, because look here, it's, you can bring your camera here. To show, we see this, we didn't work on those, and I'm working on this one. This one is already there.
Yeah.
The pattern always going to be that this one is the most inside. If you use normal strings, mm-hmm. Yeah. If you change your string, you like the first string thicker yet tuned to E, then it's going to play differently. But in general, I already know that this would be the most in, next to him this one, next to him this one, and there's those three the same, but just a little bit backwards. So what I'm trying to say that I can now, right now, start moving this one further, and I know I'm still clear to go. Yeah. Also with this one. Yeah. So the pattern always would be this kind of thing, and also on the other three, unless you change strings to a different gauge, or you play with different tune and stuff like that. Yeah. But in general. So now it's just back and forth. I'm going to tune and move, tune and move, tune and move, till I get it accurate on the 12th. Very close. Perfect. Yeah. Also, it's very important where you're leaning where the guitar leaning and resting. Yeah. In general, the best is to lean it like that. Yeah. But this, why? Because every small force on the neck changed the radius.
The radius?
The relief.
The relief.
Yeah. So you try to create no force on the neck while you're working. Right now the neck have no force. Yeah? Okay, that's it. Now you can look at it. Look at the pattern. See? First string is mostly in. Second, and it's like that, that, that. And this one is the pattern. If you get a different one, let's say this string is more forward, or this string is backwards, then your string have a problem more likely. Unless you really change the gait of the string, which some people do for...
The gauge of the string?
Yeah, they're making like a first string, whatever,
very
thicker.
thick,
yeah, exactly.
I see.
So of course they're going to get something different. But in general, this is the situation. Now we go for the pickup. So of course for the pickups I'm going to connect the guitar, but there's a couple of things I want to say before we set the height. The pickup is a magnet and the string is a piece of metal, and the piece of the string is attracted to the magnet. So the closer the pickup to the string, you will try to collect the string, which translated.
It deadens the sound.
Exactly, it's killing it. But at the same time, it's increasing the efficiency, and it's more sensitive. So there's no one setup. There's no one setup. There's many parameters that can change it. Let's say many people like to bring up the bridge pickup, but if you play mute, you're more likely to touch it and block it. So you can bring it up, but there's a point. Just you need to remember that if you play mute, it won't work. If you're the guy who play on stage with a big volume, you don't want your pickup too close to the strings, because all those frequencies are gonna start creating a distortion. But if you play in your room, yeah, bring it up and enjoy the details. So this is not one way. What I do, I talk to the customer and I see if he's a stage guy, if he's a guy that plays in his room. I don't need to explain him everything, but just I see what his nature. If he's a blues guy that pick up the string, I bring the action higher. If he's a jazz fast player, I bring it lower. Yeah, so there's no one way. There's no one way. So I think if someone have a question, maybe he can just say, I'm playing this style and what shall I do? But in general, you need, and at the same time, it's very simple. Why? Because all you need to do is plug your guitar and start playing with the pickup up and down till you feel it's right for you. So you basically connect your guitar and just move it up and down till you find it's work out for you. But all you need to do is understand the concept that you're dealing here with a magnet. If you have a polarity problem, which in one string is stronger and one string is weaker on a humbucker, so you need to play with those screws, you see. And basically you play with the polarity of and you can adjust each string but something I myself don't mess with it, because my strong field is not electronic. Electronic is not my strongest field. Yeah. So that's it. You did the setup the guitar. Now you can check your neck for, as people say, the desired relief. Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means that if the job is perfect, then there is no relief. It's flat perfect.
Oh, I see. So
yeah.
the neck is flat, like you want.
Yeah, but of course you have tolerance. So if we put it here, yeah, we take the gate. Remember from the beginning, and we put a piece of paper. But now I'm gonna put
your leaves.
Yeah. Now, if you want the desired relief, some people like the desired relief on their fingerboard. So you just need to open that again and create the relief. But now everything is yeah. Wait a second. Let's try a thicker one. Let's try 0.3. 0.5. So you can see 0.5 doesn't go in. And check what's happened when I put it here. Look. Well, it does not go in 0.5, but 0.3 will go in. No, it doesn't. 0.2 will go in. No. So it's
perfect job, Bob.
yeah, perfect job, exactly. It's too perfect. What the right thing to do is maybe open it and give it a tiny relief.
Why?
Because if it will go backwards from some humidity or something, then it's not a good news. Then it will buzz. So you want a minimum relief possible, yeah, to avoid it going backwards.
So what would you recommend?
What I recommend first to be patient. Let the string work a day or two, and then go back to the guitar. I don't set up a guitar in a day. Just I like to let the strings rest sometimes for 2 or 3 days, so it's perfect for the intonation work.
Not to play it?
No, not to play it. No, just leave it and let the string stretch easy, without force, naturally. Yeah, because the problem with the string is the bridge here and the nut. Yeah, the bridge and the nut. It takes time for the strings to find its place. See, I have a radius here. See the radius?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem, see? Look at that. String stretch, you need to get there.
And it breaks.
You need that. But when you put the string at the beginning, it's like that. And as time go, day 2, 3 days, it's achieving. You got it?
I see, yeah.
So if you got it, everybody got it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but I don't like to do it by force.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible if you're very trained, you can do it, you know, but I have other things to do, so I'm not in a rush. I just tune it. It's a good idea to tune it a little bit up, so you help it a little bit.
So the guitar, you tune the guitar a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. But again, it's not my cup of tea. My cup of tea is just do things slow. Mm-hmm. That's why I build 6 guitars a year, because I'm very slow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Slow for a reason.
Yeah, it's slow. No, I'm slow because, you know, that's the way I am. I do it slow and I enjoy it, so I don't want it to finish. But I think we're done. Maybe I missed, you know, people need to ask if something, but I think we're very clear here.